All right, guys. Tech talk on the water in a Voyager foiler style and fashion. Talking about using small wings, right? You know, obviously small wings are where they are. It's a process to be able to ride a small wing, but I think a lot of people, they put it off for too long. And you know, although it's mentally and physically intimidating to ride one, I think it's a great opportunity for growth. I would say right off the bat, you know, a lot of people think small wings, riding small wings. I'll say riding small wings, because popping up is another story. But riding small wings, it can be easier than you think, or it's not as physical as you think. I've been thinking about it, talking to some friends, coming up with the analogies in my mind to figure out how to relate this properly. But you know, when we start downwinding, usually the first obstacle or the first thing that people do too often is that they ride the bump and they don't peel off while they're fully still tapped into energy. And then what they'll do is they'll pump off with no energy, and they're just constantly sinking, right? So I was thinking that's a perfect analogy for riding a small wing. You know, a lot of us, if you ride a small wing, as you get used to it, as your muscle memory develops, all it really is you having a heightened sense of awareness of your glide, and instead of waiting for glide to run out before you pump next, you're keeping tapped into the energy, and maybe you're pumping a little sooner. You can also be a little bit more aggressive in where you look. When you ride big wings too much, your lines and your read is, you know, catered to a certain way. And you know, like I said, that's not a physical attribute, you know. It's just a foiler's ability to recognize, adapt, and make adjustments, right? And it's what's going on up here while you're processing the information, right? And you, like I said, you recognize those subtle intricacies of a small wing. Like I said, it's not harder, it's just that your adjustments need to be better, you know. And you look at high level foilers, you know, I think it's just time on the water, time on foil, so they have a more well-rounded and just kind of a deeper pool of experiences that they can feel these sensations, make adjustments, and figure it out on the fly. And right, and this kind of goes too with not only small wings, trying different boards, you know, and not letting the gear trump you or, you know, outdo you. It's about you being able to be a problem solver mentally and physically. to make those adjustments, right? And so that's constantly why, like me, I love and I'm fascinated to try new things all the time. Any opportunity I can, right? Whether the conditions change, whether I get new stabs, whether I'm chopping stabs, chop chop, moving the mast, trying different boards. One of my favorite things of the Voyager camps that we do is the day one, when we do our assessment, flat water paddle ups, and just getting a chance to try everybody's different setup. And thinking about it now, you know, yeah, all the gear is comparable, or some is better than the others, and some need to be adjusted. But you look at any of the instructors, the high-level guys, and what they're doing is they're able to process the information, make adjustments, and execute. So I would just encourage people, you know, don't be so afraid to try things, because growth happens outside of your comfort zone, right? And so the growth happens, but you're also bolstering up your awareness, your sensibilities, and you're going to recognize the adjustments that you have to make and apply it, develop new technique, and just continue to grow, get outside the box. But yeah, keep learning, keep growing, keep making offshore investments, ride small stuff, ride big stuff, whatever. But I think put into practice the opportunity to make adjustments and feel adjustments and figure it out that way. In the end, that's going to make you a stronger foiler. Adaptation. Ooh. Whoa. The other thing I forgot to mention is, I think all in all, you know, don't be too greedy, right? I think the best approach always is to do your best to match the speed of the water with your wing, right? Riding a small wing in conditions that don't suit it are horrible, but if you're able to find that, sweet spot of where it's just enough and you're going the fastest that you can according to the conditions, the smallest wing possible, man, it's a beautiful feeling. It's almost effortless. The smaller wings, it doesn't strain so much energy on your legs as far as keeping the wing down, controlling it. It's just, there's like, it feels like there's more suspension without sacrificing how much projection forward you're getting. So there's not a lot of forces pushing up into your feet, into your legs, causing you to burn energy. So, but conditions are important. You know, don't be reckless. Take out a small wing and it's 5 to 10 knots, you know. So find that balance, but overall the encouragement is develop that sensibility and awareness, and give yourself the opportunities to feel the need to make adjustments, how to make adjustments, and feel the execution when the adjustments work, or when it doesn't work. And you'll just continue growing in this sport. It's beautiful, it's amazing. The growth never stops. I'm 5 years deep and nothing, not even para-winging, no disrespect, not even para-winging is distracting me or, you know, alluring my attention away. So end of the day, get in the water, be happy, be healthy. Offshore investments. Oh, fishy. Another one.